Divine Constitution of Moorish America. The Grand Sheikh and the Chairman of Moorish America are empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of Moorish America. The Assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the citizens of America. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest because on a Friday, the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday, the first man departed out of flesh and ascended into his father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all citizens of Moorish America. No citizens is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister because Allah is love. All citizens must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all citizens must obey the laws of the government because by being Moorish American, you're a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. No organization of Moorish America is to cause any confusion or overthrow the laws of and constitution of the said government, but obey hereby. With us, all citizens must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, Black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted into 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era now, a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Jew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. All citizens must promptly attend their meetings and become part and parcel of all uplifting acts of Moorish America. Moorish Americans must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of Moorish America. And then you are entitled the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Son and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting acts, part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Jew Ali, through the guidance of his father, God Allah, Islam. I'm going to read one more before you go into the Quran. To be proclaimed in every meeting, Islam. I'm glad to know that I have a few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and divine truth. There is a host of jealousy about me and the movement, now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials in the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend on for their earthly salvation as American citizens, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds, the ones that pay their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance, and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finances badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work, which I have performed in the last few months because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish Divine and National Movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same. This is a cold one. We are, that President Hoover line, that's a cold one right there. I'll let you got it, Brother Salim.
Islamism, happy holiday, Moors.
Happy holiday.
Happy holiday.
So here, thundering and stuff, rumbling and stuff. But yeah, let me get into it, man. The Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, divinely prepared by the noble prophet, by the honorable noble prophet Drew Ali, by the guidance of his father God Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from his sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his father God Allah. I'm gonna read chapter 5. Chapter 5 of the Circle 7 Holy Quran. Entitled After the Feast, the Homeward Journey, the Missing Jesus, the search for him. His parents find him in the temple. He goes with them to Nazareth, the symbolic meaning of the carpenter's tools. Islam.
Wow.
The great feast of the Pasch was ended, and the Nazarenes were journeying toward their homes. And they went to Samaria, and Mary said, "Where's my son?" No one had seen the boy. And Joseph sought among the kindred who were on their way to Galilee, but they had seen him not. Then Joseph, Mary, and the son of Zebedee returned and sought through all Jerusalem, but could find him not. Pardon, sir. And Mary asked the guards, had they seen Jesus, a little boy about 12 years old? The guards replied, yes, he is in the temple now disputing with the doctors of the law. And they went in and found him as the guards had said. And Mary said, why, Jesus, why do you treat your parents thus? Lo, we have sought 2 days for you. We feared that some great harm had overtaken you. And Jesus said, do you not know that I must be about my Father's work? But he went round and pressed the hand of every doctor of the law and said, I trust that we meet again. And then he went forth with his parents on the way to Nazareth. When they reached their home, he brought with Joseph as a carpenter. One day, as he was bringing forth the tools for work, he said, these tools remind me of the ones we handle in the workshop of the mind, where things are made of thought and where we build up character. We use the square to measure all our lines, and straighten out the crooked places of the way and make the corners of our conduct square. We use the compass to draw the circles around our passions and desires to keep them in the bounds of righteousness. We use the axe to cut away the knotty, useless, ungainly parts and make the character symmetrical. We use the hammer to drive home the truth and pound it in until it is a part of every part. We use the plane to smooth the rough, uneven surface of joint and block and board that go to build the temple for the truth. The chisel, line, and plummet, and the saw all have their uses in the workshop of the mind. And then this ladder, with its trinity of steps, faith, hope, and love, on it we climb up to the dome of purity and life. And on the 12-step ladder, we ascend until we reach the pinnacle of that which life is spent to build the temple of perfected man, Islam.
Islam. Perfected man. So I wanted to go into our authority just to have this in our tool belt. Once again, to explain this to somebody else. I know a lot of people have seen this document attached to the 101s, etc. Just a little in-depth analysis on this. So this was recorded in Cook County, Religious Affidavit of Organization, 1928. It was recorded. I, Noble Drew Ali, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, held at Chicago and County of Cook in state of Illinois on the 20th day of July, 1928. For that purpose, the following person were appointed sheiks, according to the rules and usages of such Moorish Holy Temple of Science. Do solemnly swear that at a meeting of the members of Noble Drew Ali, Mealy Ill, Small Bay, Levitt Bay, and Foreman Bay, the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, deriving its power and authority from the great Quran of Muhammad to propagate the faith and extend the learning and truth of the great prophet of Ali in America, to appoint and consecrate missionaries of the prophet, and to establish the faith of Muhammad in America. And said Moorish Holy Temple of Science adopts its corporate name, the following: Moorish Science Temple of America. And at said meeting, the Safavian acted as presiding officer, subscribed and sworn to before me on the 20th day of July, 1928, Noble Ali. So Noble Ali recorded this in Cook County, where the Empress is at, matter of fact, Yelly Belly. And it was a religious affidavit of organization. The reason he chose this municipality is because of the favorable laws. Keep in mind, the civic organization Moorish Holy Temple of Science didn't change. They just adopted a corporate name, and the corporate name is Moorish Holy Temple of Science. So now let's go to the Illinois General Assembly under Business Organizations, or the Religious Corporation Act. This is what Noble Jew Ali filed his organization under, these Illinois General Assembly. And we're going to see why he did that as we read this. All right. So this is 805 ILCS, Religious Corporation Act. So this act may be cited as just simply the Religious Corporation Act, right? So Section 35, any church, congregation, or society formed for the purpose of religious worship may become incorporated in the following manner: by electing or appointing according to its usages and customs. At any meeting held for that purpose, two or more of its members as trustees, wardens, vestrymen, or such other officers whose power and duties are similar to those as trustees shall be agreeable to the usages and customs, rules, and regulations of such congregation, church, or society, and may adopt a corporate name. So now you see why he used that language, adopted a corporate name, right? So in our case, the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, well, at that time, it was the civic organization Moorish Holy Temple of Science was the society that adopted the corporate name Moorish Science Temple of America. And then where you see trustees, wardens, and vestrymen, that's sheiks, grand sheiks, assistant sheiks, treasurers, etc. in our world. And the bylaws would be the laws, the usages and customs, the culture that's infused in the bylaws. So whatever laws that was created, that's the law in general for our jurisdiction. Section 36, the chairman or secretary of such meeting shall, as soon as may be after such meeting, make and file in the office of the recorder. That's what we just read. It was recorded in the county in which such congregation, church, or society is organized, which shall be recorded by such recorder, an affidavit. We just read the religious affidavit, right? Subsequently, in the following form: I do solemnly swear or affirm, and then insert the name of the church, society, or congregation, which we already know. It was Moorish Holy Temple of Science, as known before the incorporation, held at, and insert the meeting place in the county of whoop-de-whoop, state of Illinois, and insert the date. We already know, we read the date already. For that purpose, the following persons were elected or appointed. Here insert the names. We already know Amelia L., Lovett Bay, etc., right? Trustees, and we say sheiks, or wardens, vestrymen, or officers by whatever name they choose to adopt, with powers, duties similar to the trustees, according to the rules and usages of such church, society, or organization. So that's where the bylaws come in. Once again, when we say in society, we say in the temple. When they're saying trustees, vestrymen, we saying sheiks, assistant sheiks, etc. So, and the church, society, or congregation adopted as its corporate name, here insert, and that's where he inserted Moorish Science Temple of America. And at the meeting, the affiant acted as chairman or secretary, as the case may be, subscribed and sworn to before me, and insert the date. Name of affiant. Such congregation, church, or society may change its name or make other amendment to its original affidavit of incorporation by passing a resolution of such amendment in accordance with the rules and usage of such congregation, church, or society. Once again, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Science Temple, and the bylaws. And filing an affidavit to that effect in the office of the recorder in the county in which such congregation, church, or society is located. Such affidavit or copy thereof, duly certified by the recorder, shall be received as evidence of the due incorporation of such congregation, church, or society. And that's where you get our authority. It was accepted. That's the precedent. Section 37. The term of office or the trustees, or sheiks, assistant grand sheiks, treasurers, secretaries, etc., of any such corporation may be determined by the rules or bylaws. So once again, the bylaws are the law. Whatever the laws are of the organization, in our case, our temples, that is the law that governs the jurisdiction of our society or our temple. That's why Prophet Noble Ali chose Illinois to file, because of these favorable situations. And it was just smooth sailing. A failure to elect trustees at any time shall not work as a dissolution of such corporation, but the trustees last elected shall be considered as an office until their successors are elected. Section 39. All elections of trustees after the first and elections to fill vacancies may be called and conducted upon such notice and in such manner as may be provided by the rules, usages, or bylaws or of the congregation, church, or society. So you see, it's not saying the laws of the state of Illinois or the organization is not bound by that. It's whatever internal laws that the body has, or the structure that the body has, is the law. Once again, that's why Noble Joe Ali chose Illinois to file our authority. No certificate of election after the first need be filed for the record. Section 40. A trustee may be removed from office by an election called and conducted in like manner as elections for trustees, or his office declared vacant for a failure to act, immoral conduct, or for an abandonment of the faith of the congregation, church, or society. Section 41. Upon the incorporation of any congregation, church, or society, all real and personal property held by any person or trustees for the use of the members thereof shall immediately vest in such corporation and must be subject to its control. And may be used, mortgaged, sold, and conveyed the same as if it had been conveyed to such corporation by deed. But no such conveyance or mortgage shall be made so as to affect or destroy the intent or effect of any grant, legacy, or donation that may be made to such person or trustee for the use of such congregation, church, or society. However, this limitation on the disposition of real and personal property does not apply to the extent that a restriction imposed by a donor on the use of the institutional fund may be released by the governing board of an institution under the Uniform Prudent Management of Institutional Funds Act. Any corporation that may be formed for religious purposes under this act, or any laws of this state for the incorporation of religious societies, may receive land by gift, legacy, or purchase, and may erect or build thereon such houses, buildings, or other improvements as it may deem necessary for the convenience and comfort of such congregation, church, or society, and may lay out and maintain thereon a burying ground, but only 10 acres of such land shall be exempt from assessment for taxation. So see why Noble Drew Ali filed here? It's spelling out land that can be conveyed under the jurisdiction for religious purposes or the society's purposes, exempt from land that's under the body or society's jurisdiction, is exempt from assessment of taxation from a municipality. Now you start to see why Noble Drew Ali filed here, right? And all such land in excess of 10 acres shall be assessed at the same valuation as if it were not part of the cemetery. And no such property shall be used only except in the manner expressed in the gift, grant, or legacy, or if no use or trust is so expressed, only for the benefit of the corporation, church, or society for which it was intended. So as long as the land is used for the society, for the people, then it falls under this jurisdiction. I just wanted to point out just the main parts. I open the floor for discussion on this. I just wanted to make sure when people, look at our authority, you'll comprehend it a little better. Some may have known this already, some may not, but wanted to put it out there on the record. Any questions on this? Any thoughts? Was it insightful?
Islam, I have a quick question. Is it, you were saying, so basically he filed in Illinois to have to have the land, because those who, if you have religious purposes, the land is free basically. Am I saying that correctly?
Right. Yeah.
So based on the First Amendment or freedom of religion, does that not apply to all states constitutionally, or it's a different type of thing?
Ideally, all the Moorish science temples are supposed to utilize this document in that way. In an ideal world, like I say, all the temples would be under one body and not playing church. And then they will invoke this document under the laws of Illinois. And even if the temple is not in Illinois, it still would be a subsidiary under this document. That's how it's supposed to work. And then but it applies to all states because back to Article 4, Section 1, it's full faith and credit. Anything that's law in the state is uniform. Yeah.
I was about to bring that up, man, because I took the little quiz and I didn't do so well. But I was studying a little bit today, and I remember reading that. I wasn't gonna ask if wouldn't it apply under Article 4, Section 1. I took my little notes about the full faith and credits given each state to the public acts records, and then that was like how the House Resolution 1203 in Georgia, claiming that Moorish Americans are Aboriginals, but since it falls in Georgia under Article 4, Section 1, it applies to every state as long as you declare, right, and you know what you're talking about. Bringing up the Article 4, Section 1.
Right. Islam, Wardell, happy holy day, man. How you doing over there?
Islam, happy holy day, Morris.
Word man.
But yeah, pretty much how it's supposed to work, and in the ideal world, everybody that's saying they're Moorish Science Temple would utilize this document, but as a collective. All the temples come together, bam, our authority, it was filed already, and we can move like this. But, obviously we're scattered. We're scattered at this point, different ideologies of Moors, things of that nature. But
so Islam, are you saying like it's non-valid unless we have the numbers? Islam, like we couldn't utilize it just to get land based on that because it's separated, or because ones are. But I know like they got more scientific incorporated, and we know some of us know what happened. You know what I'm saying?
right.
That's why, because it's does when they separated, when the prophet passes for them and there were separations, does that mean that they separated themselves from this authority? Islam, like it's not legit with them.
Yeah, they just don't invoke it. They don't invoke it. Like how I just went through this document and then went to this, the Illinois General Assembly. They're not gonna, most of the temples that know about this and compromise, they're not gonna go through this like that. Because if they go through it like that, they're gonna see the intention of what Noble Drew Ali was trying to do. Basically, have its own jurisdiction. The Moorish Science Temple supposed to be its own jurisdiction. And
and so basically if they try, they wouldn't try to use this, right? Because it's like, even if they try to use it, they under certain oaths or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I wonder why they couldn't. They probably signed, they can't.
I think the thing is too is a lot of them will even try to discourage others, out of either self-doubt or maybe they have another agenda. But the most important thing is that we invoke it and forget what everybody else is doing. Just try to unite.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Unite within. So happens outside of us too. But yeah, that's what I noticed, man. A lot of, like, I look online and do my studying. A lot of people will start spreading false information, discouraging others from trying to, proceed in sovereign activities, saying, "Oh, you can't do that. That's not legal." But I mean, you know what it is, man. We just want to be free.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I don't even like saying the word legal. I use the word lawful.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between legal and lawful.
Yeah, that's why I say lawful. I don't deal with legalities. I don't deal with policy.
Real talk. Islam.
Yeah, man.
They say law is universal, right? Legal is more worldly. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Learn something new every day.
But we don't, like somebody just said, we don't have to literally wait for that ideal world to happen, as far as all temples just waking up tomorrow and got their head screwed on straight and they doing stuff right. We know that's not going to happen. So the best we can do is galvanize people in a centralized jurisdiction. And then now we got the intellectual people involved, because the government is just simply the people. So the people logistically making things happen, that's how we can invoke this. Even
we are the pushers.
Yeah, we got to just push and get to a point where we got the intellectuality to make stuff move. But there's nothing to for instance, Khalifa Society is a body politic. We could adopt a corporate name. Salute, Islam.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
It's all good, Islam. Khalifa Society would be a body politic. Or so you said it, you see the lingo society in the in this situation, right? So Body Politic Society essentially adopt the corporate name Moorish Science Temple, and then adopted under these laws the same way the prophet did, and then just exercise. But once again, the exercise comes from the people involved. The organization of the people have to be willing to exercise on this level. But the tools is here. Tools are definitely here. You know, there's a lot of law out here that we can utilize. I think I was talking with the brother too, Benny Bay, about the rights of indigenous people. If it's a certain amount of numbers in a municipality, when you go to that any more to go to that municipality and invoke the rights of indigenous people, anything abandoned in the area. But the thing is, we have to have the means to fix it up, the means to not ask for a foreigner to assist us and help in fixing that area up. We gotta have some organization and planning to go about that. Rather it's take a couple of years to, centralize some funds in the treasury, or developing networks with other people that know how to do things with the land. Or however we go about it, we have to use our intellectual genius to fix it up. And now we're taken serious. You know what I mean? It's back to the whole beggar nation thing. Can't be a beggar nation in invoking this law. We got to have a game plan.
Islam, I had another question. So I've heard from some Moors, though I know man knows not by being told, Islam. So that's why I'm asking. Because I've heard the prophets say things like more genius citizens, Islam. So I'm asking, are we citizens, Islam? Or was he just saying those who would come into the fold, they were citizens at first and then they become nationalized? So I'm just trying to understand, are we citizens? I know I know how those 501c3s do. They call you USA, but I know that's really United Allah, something like that. You think you expound on that a bit for me? Give me some clarity on
that. Unity, Salvation, Allah. But yeah, you're a citizen of your nation. The prophet is not saying citizen of the United States. He's a citizen of any nation, Chinese government, Moorish government. A citizen is just a person that's part of the government and they're active. That's all a citizen is. We're not U.S. citizens, but if you're part of a body of government of Moors, then you're a Moorish citizen. Yeah.
To be a corporate citizen of the U.S. is you're engaging in their loopholes.
Mm-hmm.
To you're outside of your covenant with the Most High of our forefathers. That's why it says to honor our forefathers and foremothers.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a citizen can be synonymous with a member. Well, like you choose to be a member of this, society. Kind of like your First Amendment, you choose to assemble. So you go like the United States or have citizens or members. You can be a member of the United States or a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So you can look at it that as well. It says more genius citizens, more genius members. But I get it.
Islam, exactly.
Islam.
Yep, simple as that. It's synonymous. And then when you look up government, the definition is going to say an organization of people. So organization, right? Affidavit of organization. I'm saying affidavit of government, right?
So in technicality, our nationality card is a government ID, a government issued ID.
I'll say that again.
In technicality, then our nationality card will be a government issued ID.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Word.
Exactly. Yeah. You're right. So, that's what the temple is supposed to be. branch of a government, you know. Like you got the state of California for the US people. That's how the temples in Cali supposed to be, branches of the whole thing. It's supposed to be as simple as everyone. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, you know, I felt impelled to talk about this because I know a lot of people don't kind of go into this in deep analysis like that. So now it's something in everybody's toolbox to kind of know what this is about. You know, what this filing was about, why it's so important. And he got successors like Amelia Hill, for example. He was supposed to be the successor to Noble Drew Ali. And I know most of us know about Kirkland Bay and how he went left field, but you know, it's another reason to examine this document as well. But yeah, man, that's all I really wanted to share tonight. If you know, anybody else got any thoughts, questions, miscellaneous questions, etc., put them on the floor. Outside of that,
all is well.
All is well.
Yeah, I appreciate the given the reason why he went to the Corporation of Chicago to file it. Give another reason to be like the Mecca. It's like showing how genius he was. Like, well, I can't do it here in this Corporation of New York. It was at the time of Corporation of Virginia. Hey, let me go to Chicago. So that means he had to study each corporation to see what he could do. You know what I mean? So kind of like going through the back door again. You know, showing the real genius. Kind of like a mental war strategist. You know, like mentally warring. You know what I mean? But I yield. Thanks for bringing that to light.
Wow. I'm gonna do one more round for thoughts, comments, concerns, this question, and then I'll close out. All right. Islam. Well, everybody, you know, have a beautiful rest of the day, holy day. And yeah, I'll see everybody Sunday. I'm gonna call you right now, Wardell. I want to show you I got feedback from BMI, so I want to just kind of
Where?
Yeah. But yeah.
It's Islam, brother. I'm gonna give you a call too. Mafia, Islam.
All right, Islam.
Peace.
Peace and love, everybody.
Peace and love, everybody.
Peace and love. Islam.
Happy holy day.
Happy
holy day, y'all.
Love.
Happy holy day.